So this is how the radiator support that was broken made the bumper look. There was a huge gap between the bumper and the headlight because of the radiator support being broken. So the first thing I did was remove the bumper. There's a lot of videos on YouTube really explaining it how to do it, so it's just a few clips and bolts on the side. And after that, I tackled the headlights. After I removed the bumper, went ahead and removed the headlights. Just a few screws, like 4 screws holding the headlight. So pointing at some of the locations of the screws. There's one down there, 2 on the side I think, or 1 on the side. And like I said as well, on YouTube there's a lot of videos on how to remove and install headlights, so just search it up. I was done with the right side already removed. Just removed the plugs, the connectors. No, this is the first time I ever did this, so it was a learning process. It's nothing hard though, it's just removing a ton of bolts. And then this is the next thing I did right here. Well, I was inspecting just the screws I'm gonna need to take off. And inspecting the new one. This is the new one. That's the new radiator support. I'm inspecting the holes where the screws are. So I guess the next thing I did was remove this the support, the front support. I forgot what this is called, but sort of like if you ever get in an accident, it's supposed to protect, not protect you fully, but you know, prevent it from being a bigger damage in your front end. But I removed that with it was 18 millimeters or 8 total. Then you just remove your coolant reservoir whole container, coolant reservoir container. After that, you want to go ahead and remove this middle part. Mine is kind of damaged, it's bent, but it's screws. Remove your sensor from your fans. There's a few sensors in the back, more than one sensor. And then from there, you just remove your radiator. You want to remove the radiator. So yeah, this is gonna involve you draining your radiator and refilling it. So you gotta do a flush. I'm not at that part yet, but you know, I'm just letting you know. But you know, there's a few hoses that connect to the radiator you gotta remove. This stuff you would notice yourself doing this job. I'm not too in detail, but you know, I'm just showing footage. You also have to remove AC lines. So right here, I removed AC lines. Let's remove AC lines. And I had cut it thinking you didn't have to remove the AC lines. I don't know if y'all saw, but I cut off a piece. But you have to remove the AC lines. So actually, I'm showing here what I use to remove the AC lines, even if you don't have a tool, which I need to go buy a set. It's a cheap tool, but if you don't have a tool in hand, this is what I use: the bottle cap off a water bottle. Just search up online the water bottle cap method, and you just push it in. It works. It worked. I'm showing what I did in order to remove these hoses. And these do have gaskets. They're black gaskets, you can see. I did break one of the gaskets. I went to AutoZone. I bought gaskets. They had them in green. Those O-ring gaskets. O-rings, little O-rings. That's what I meant. It has the O-rings, but I'll show that at the end. So right after that, I remove those lines, and I start removing this. Is part of the hood latches. Just want to be careful with this, you know. You might end up messing it up a bit, but you're able to fix it because it's screws that hold it. But once you remove the screws, the wire from the latches can come off loose. So when you install everything back, your hood may not open. But there's a video on YouTube. These are the screws. I'm showing. I'm looking at the holes. I'm gonna have to see what goes where. And actually what I'm doing is I'm removing the nuts and bolts, I'm putting it to the holes of the new radiator support. But back to the latches, if you end up not installing everything back and your hood doesn't work, just search up on YouTube. There's a video on YouTube on how to fix your hood not opening. It may be because when removing the hood latches you might have messed something up, but it's nothing to worry about. So you can see now we're on the right side again. Just removing screws, you know, it'll come off. As you can see, it's already loose. There's a few screws still there, but the whole support is basically almost off. Just, you know, just remove the clips, the screws, the bolts, the nuts, and it should come off eventually. And I think it's off at this point, I want to say. Yeah, it's already off, you see. Like I said, it's just screws, bolts that hold this thing together. It's nothing hard. And I'm gonna show y'all what was causing that gap. What was broken off the old one was this. Let's compare it. So y'all see the little, like the hands, the little supports on the sides. You see how on the old one is broken? It's missing the support that goes right under the headlight to hold it in place. So that I just touched is broken on the right side on the old one. As you can see, it's missing there. But basically what you have to do, so on the new one it doesn't come with these. It doesn't come with, alright, so these, what I'm touching right now is, don't worry about that, but what I'm touching right there, so you have to add the old ones onto the new ones, because it doesn't come, the new one doesn't come with those are, they're part of the headlight bracket. I think those are what they call it, headlight bracket. So add the headlight bracket, the headlight brackets from the old support onto the new one. And I knew, so y'all know how I was missing this piece. It broke off, but I saved it. I had it in my closet. I had it saved. I just didn't know where. I knew it was from the radiator support, but I didn't know where it went. So I did my research on it, and I finally figured out this part. It was supposed to, it's part of the headlight bracket. But yeah, I had it in my closet, so I went back for it. And as you can see right there, it's just some screws you want to take off, some 12s, and you add it onto your new support. They do sell these brackets on eBay for both of them. You could buy both of them on eBay for 25-30 bucks brand new. So if you're missing them, you don't have them in hand, just buy them online. They're not expensive. But I'm gonna just reuse the old ones. You know, doesn't hurt using the old ones. It's just brackets, so it's just there to support the headlight. They work fine. So you can see now it's on. But that one piece right there, those actually, so that the old one is still broken, as you can see. Like, I don't know that the 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 shot y'all just saw. There is a missing piece on the bracket that was broken, but it doesn't really matter as long as there's still a support there. That's all I needed for me to be able to have the headlight to the bumper line. So it didn't really bother me. So basically, my right headlight still is missing a screw to hold it, completely hold it intact, but it's better than before. So this is now me just installing it back. You just slide it back in. The way you took it off, you know, it's easy. It's just basically reversal at this point. But there's still a few things I need to point out, so that's why I'm gonna still be here to talk. So you can see right here, just remember there is a sensor there actually that I'm pointing out. That's on the old bracket that you have to remove and put it onto the new one. So that's what I'm pointing out. So just remember to remove that that's where the sensor connects to. So you remove it from the old one, put it onto the new one, and then start connecting. You have to connect your, I didn't mention that earlier, but you do remove your horn, then connect your horn back, start connecting everything, you know. This middle part that runs, well, first we gotta put the radiator support, but I just don't show that. But basically reversal, and you can see it's fixed now, but I still have gaps right there on my side from those bolts. I don't know. I have to buy the whole hardware for the bumper and redo the hardware with the original OEM hardware.